gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. Yeah. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. And we can all ride when it's time to override these policies. Hey. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies, sister. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies, sister. You gotta show me trust. You wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. Hey. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust.
Hey, peace to the family. Right now, I'm a hot mess. I didn't left my microphone. Like, we got snowed in, so I was at my brother's. You dig? The whole duration of the snowstorm. And man, because over where he's in the next township, which is like more suburban. So they're gonna snow and plow, that type of stuff. Where I live at, hood ice ski. So everything is packed. And I normally pack everything together, but I did separate the microphone. But my headset, I don't know. I could have sworn I put the headset in this bag right here with my laptop. Anyway, I'm using the iPad. I'm using my iPad and laptop, but I'm using my iPad microphone. My laptop microphone is trash. And when I switch to the phone, it's going to be trash. But I forgot everything. I snuck live while my son is asleep. So you got to forgive the audio. And I'm not even really ready. So let me play another song, because I'm not even really ready. Hold on. 1 second. Let me get another song in here while I get ready. Yeah, but Dr. Ruxpin is welcome to pull up. I'm going to put the link in the chat in a second. Okay, I'm bugging. Man, where's my music folder? There we go. No disrespect in our house. You feel me? At all.
No disrespect in my house, 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 in my house. No, none at all. Visitors should be thankful, or don't come at all. Come at all. No disrespect in my house, 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 in my house. Visitors should be thankful, or don't come at all. Come at all. Where was the xenophobia when we were fighting with Ethiopia? Where were the bros when we exposed King and Leopold? Where were the vision for righteous when we fought for laws that made y'all migrants? Some grateful, some hateful, but all put up to our table and pulled out with a plate full. Oh, all put up to our table and pulled out with a plate full. No disrespect in my house, 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 in my house. Visitors should be thankful, or don't come at all. No disrespect in my house, 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 in my house. Visitors should be thankful, or don't come at all. Where was the xenophobia when we were fighting with Ethiopia? Where were the bros when we exposed King Leopold? Where were the visa for righteous when we fought for laws that made y'all migrants? Some grateful, some hateful, but all put up to our table and poured out with a plate full. All put up to our table and poured out with a plate full. No disrespect in my house, 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 in my house. Visitors should be thankful, or don't come at all. Come at all. No disrespect in my house, 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 in my house. Visitors should be thankful, or don't come at all. Come at all.
All right, family, shall we begin? This is going to be interesting. I'm not used to holding this iPad to my mouth. Matter of fact, let me see how my audio is. Yeah. All right, family, shall we begin? This is I didn't even know which way to holding this iPad to my mouth. I can't even tell you which side the iPad's microphone. Is it the bottom or because I got this case? Hey, peace to Black Feather Archery, Donnie C, Fresh Always, I Am Sick, Ricardo Flat, you dig? Because I got this case. That's my microphone check. Hey, peace to Black Feather Archery. All right, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with it. All right. So Dr. Ruxpin pulled up on us late night. He was very talkative, you dig? We really couldn't engage too much. He was very talkative. I think he's gonna be more, but I got to spin the block on him because I was gonna he pulled up. I was gonna let it just be what it be that night and just move on to the bigger fish I got in mind. But I started to as I'm going back because I was gonna let Agent Agenda pass too. Uncle Ruckus on the left side. I was gonna move on to other people, right? Move on for Agent Agenda and Dr. Ruxpin. But when Dr. Ruxpin pulled up, it made me look at some content from Agent Agenda. And I'm seeing things, matter of fact, that content last night, when Thunder beat up on Agent Agenda, I see Dr. Ruxpin pull up. So Dr. Ruxpin is a really messy. Like he pulls up on panels, but they just goofing, and he's supposed to have this professional persona, right? About him, this aura. Dr. Mayat, he hanging a bunch of people with PhDs, but then he get messy and hang with the gutter rats. So that's what made me say, all right, well, okay, he's like really trying to, in my mind, I'm like, he's really trying to be like the FBA killer type thing. Like when there's a discussion about FBAs and they're joking and messing around and being fools, like he pulls up as like the leader, like, haha, Thanos has arrived. And that made me feel a certain way. So I said, all right, well, let me revisit Dr. Ruxpin and Unks. Now, this thumbnail right here, this thumbnail is old. Like I did this, and I moved on. I was gonna leave these guys alone and move on to Anton Daniels and people like that until Dr. Ruxpin came over here, and I see him pulling up on clowns panels, basically stamping the panel, like what they saying is legit. He even had Tethered Dream calling one time. So, and then he's talking, it's just like the integrity ain't there. Like, bro, my name is Unbiased Ron because I'm unbiased, right? I'm gonna call it straight. I'm gonna call it straight. If he's calling out pseudoisms, and people with bad information, misinformation, well, you got Tethered Dream on your panel, my guy, and they want to pretend like they don't know what he's about. Well, I'm gonna tell you, which you should have known what he's about. You don't invite people on there without asking about them. But Tethered Dream is a fake Jamaican conservative who denies systemic racism in 2026. So when you share the panel with him again, you address that. I think that's way worse than us saying we should delineate. You dig? I think that's way worse than us saying Black American. Family, when you look at the beef with these guys, like, yo, what is your problem? We saying Black American. You're saying no, African American. Okay, like is that really a big deal? We're saying Black American, and they're saying I'm talking about from their angle. From the angle, is that really a big deal? We're saying Black American, they're saying African American. They supposedly rock with both interchangeably. Well, we know they don't. We know they say that, but they rock with African American. On the outside, there's no lie. We don't rock with African American at all. But they claim both is sufficient, but they constantly choose African American unless they want to scam, us, and then they'll mention Black there. They'll do a Black city plan when they want to scam us. Where's the African American city plan? Oh, Black African power. No, where's the African American power? So when they want to scam us, they'll throw Black all in the title. But when they want to represent us or mislabel us, they'll say African American. That's consistent. Like you will hardly ever hear them say, "Hey, I'm a Black American." Okay. Anyway, so I decided to spin the block. And you know what? Let me address these guys. And I want to make this video replayable. So I really want to go in. Okay, so here's video number 2. Here's video number 1. So before it plays, so I wrote down the timestamps you did on some certain things. I got limited time. My son will be looking for me in a second. All right, let's just go right here. Okay, so I am where I want to be. Like, so I've been like really following the Iran United States tension thing, war thing. So that's why you dig. I've been like kind of, and I've been back reading my catching up on my knowledge. You know, just sharpening up the knowledge of immigration, the history of immigration in this country. I got some dope stuff to show you. You dig? You know what I mean? So first, let's do this. Let's do this. It's important for me to break down. Wait, before I even start, is my audio good? Is my audio? Well, I don't think it's super good, but is it? Can you hear me? Can you make out what I'm saying? Let's start right there. Okay, sounds good. Good. Okay. So, family, let's break down ethnogenesis, right? When we say ethnogenesis, when FBA say ethnogenesis, and not just us, but anybody say ethnogenesis, but more specifically us, because people try to misrepresent us when we say ethnogenesis as though we don't know what we're talking about when we say ethnogenesis. Okay, hold on a second. One second. Okay, so and I want to talk about the benefits of delineation because they act like that's a taboo word, that's a divisive word. All of a sudden, everything we do, family, has become toxic. If we want to fight for our rights, fighting for your rights will become toxic because we are doing it, FBA. Okay, so ethnogenesis. It is the process by which a group of people acquires an ethnicity or the group identified that, or I'm sorry, or the group identity, or the group identity identifies themselves as a distinct people. That's what we're doing, okay? Make no mistake. So our position, FBA position, argues that Black Americans, we're not simply, this is also the Adolph's position that, so I know for sure Adolph's and FBA, this is our position. This is our position that we, Black Americans, are not simply displaced Africans like Malcolm X would want you to believe when he left the Nation of Islam. He lost his goddamn, when he left the Nation of Islam, he left his mind. You dig? So he claimed we're Africans in America. That's a lie. Okay, so the FBA position argues that we are not simply displaced Africans, but a distinct ethnic group forged on American soil. Just like you have one forged over there in Jamaica, one forged in Haiti, one forged in Brazil, and wherever else. You got some forged in Africa. Okay, so let me. Okay, I know it's gonna do. So I pulled up an Oxford sociologist. Let me do that again. I believe his name was it Orlando Patterson? Okay. So, because remember, they say we're stupid. We don't read. We don't have degrees. Okay, let me give you somebody with a degree. Harvard sociologist Orlando Patterson. He posits that slavery. So he's speaking on us, not generically anybody that went through ethnogenesis. He's speaking on us, those of the diaspora. He said, Harvard sociologist Orlando, write this down so you cook these guys when they act like we're making something up, when they act like Tariq Nasheed is making something up. Harvard sociologist Orlando Patterson posits that slavery in the Americas, that's the diaspora, created a distinct new hybrid people through a process of natal alienation. He calls it natal alienation or alienation. Natal alienation. Read that over. Harvard sociologist Orlando Patterson, posits that slavery in the Americas created a distinct new hybrid people through a process of natal alienation, a total severance from ancestral heritage, kinship, and legal rights, rather than merely transferring an African population. Okay, that's what they want to claim. This social debt forced the creation of new cultural identities and social structures. Right, right. So we got a Harvard sociologist witnessing to our ethnogenesis. We're not simply Africans, he said, and we said. Okay. So the catalyst for FBA ethnogenesis was the conditioning process of chattel slavery. Enslaved people from various distinct ethnic groups, Yoruba, Igbo, Mindi, Fulani, Congo, whatever, were stripped of their specific tribal languages, religions, and names. This forced the creation of a new lingua franca, AAVE, Ebonics, a new spiritual system, the Black Church, and a new cuisine, soul food. This fusion created a culture that is genetically African but culturally American. So genetically means, you know, some people got some African ancestry, no problem. So now, from 1619 to 1965, the unique existence of Black Americans was codified by U.S. law. From the Partus Sequitur Ventrum laws, which made slavery hereditary, to the Dred Scott decision denying citizenship, to Jim Crow, we FBAs, ADOS, we were legally isolated from the rest of the world. This isolation forced internal reliance and the development of distinct institutions, HBCUs, the Black press, that recent immigrants did not participate in building, right? So a Nigerian immigrant arrives with a connection to a flag, culture, language, a specific land, and his tribal affairs. A Jamaican immigrant arrives with a connection to the British Commonwealth and Caribbean history. An FBA, one of us, our history is exclusively tied to the building of the United States. That's a big difference. 1 second. Okay. So what are the benefits of delineation? What are the benefits of delineation? Delineation is not divisive. It is a tool for political accuracy and resource allocation. So a lot of Pan-Africanists, they often argue out of emotional unity, but politics require data specificity. So we want to close the wealth gap in this country, right? So the racial wealth gap in the United States is specific to us, ADOS, the descendants of U.S. slavery due to redlining, the GI Bill exclusion, and Jim Crow. You guys know I go over the HOLC, FHA, racial zoning laws, restrictive covenants, the GI, the New Deal, GI Bill, and other assistance, right? Other government assistance that we were excluded from, but given freely to those who they want to call white. Okay. So according to a 2015 study by the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, the median net worth of US-born Black families in Boston was $8, while for Caribbean Black families, it was $12,000, and for white families, it was $247,500. So lumping all groups as Black hides the specific economic destruction of FBAs. Family, don't they come over here like the Tether News? Oh, the chaotic truth. Oh, we are home ownership. We are home ownership. Do you guys own a home? And they act like no FBA owns a home. But I mean, damn, like that's a white supremacist talking point. A lot of us don't own a home because of predatory lending. Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac. You dig? So there's a reason. There's a systemic reason why a lot of FBAs do not own homes. We're just really blocked out. So to deny that makes you a racist or tethered, like it's for coon. Coon, racist, tethered. All right. So I mean, there's no way to put that. If you're a coon, if you're white, right, in any way, shape, form, and you deny that, you're a racist. If you were from Afro-Caribbean, African immigrant, and African the country, you deny that, you're tethered. And if you are U.S. chattel slavery descendant of freedmen, you deny that, you're a coon. I mean, because that's blatantly disrespect. So all these immigrants that own homes, white supremacy, they're thrown in the black stack. So white supremacy would be like, hey, man, you talk about home ownership, you need reparations because you've been excluded and this and that, predatory lending and discrimination in loans, FHA loans and buying homes, that don't exist. Look, so with adding these immigrants in there as black, even the ones first, second gen, it makes it look like it's not as bad as it is. That's why we must delineate. We want the raw numbers to show how bad it really is. So again, the median net worth of U.S.-born black families in Boston was $8, while Caribbean black families it was $12,000, and for white families it was $247,500. So lumping all of us high the specific economic destruction FBA, and that also tells us that these Caribbeans are no threat. They're being allowed to do what they want to do. Okay, so now reparations are a debt owed by the U.S. government. So we're not begging. It's what it's owed to. It's a debt owed by the U.S. government for specific harms slavery, Jim Crow. So recent immigrants from Africa or the Caribbean were not subject to U.S. chattel slavery. Delineation ensures that any justice claim is directed towards the actual victims of the state's actions. Okay? And we're going to talk about that sometime later or the next time. We'll talk about how the states were stripped of certain authority on people or certain affairs. Okay, so what we're looking for is accurate data collection. So when universities or corporations claim diversity, they often hire recent African or Caribbean immigrants to fill black quotas. This is important. A study of black students at Harvard found that nearly 2/3 were children of West Indian or African immigrants, but they're allowed to be called black. That's why I said we got to gatekeep that. We want them. We want that study to say POAB, persons of African descent, or just flat out West Indians and African immigrants. Okay, so 2/3, leaving the descendants of U.S. chattel slavery significantly underrepresented, despite being the majority of the black U.S. population. Delineation exposes this disparity. Okay, so 2/3 of those in Harvard, and these guys make up a small majority of so-called the black population, but they represent 2/3 of those enrolled at Harvard. Right. So, as you might can guess, Dr. Ruxpin, Agent Agenda, typically rely on straw man arguments. They like to attack what they think is the weakest parts of an argument or the most controversial parts of an argument, and they want to highlight. And they also want to highlight. They want to highlight. I'm looking at something. I lost my thoughts. Something caught my attention. I lost my damn thought. They want to. It'll come back. Okay. Anyway. Oh, I want to say they want to highlight the most controversial parts, right? Oh, no. I was going to say this. They want to highlight the exceptions, like the wild trolls of FBA as the standard of the FBA. Okay. So What Agent Agenda normally does is he likes to go around saying FBAs only make up about 1,500 people, 2,000 people. Now he, as you can tell, is a goofy for even saying that. Of course, it's a made-up number out of his mind. He even admitted this is a pseudo number. You know, the pseudo guy, the pseudo in his mouth likes to be pseudo a lot. Okay, so he says 42 million Black Americans did not agree to being called FBA. Now, family, this is when I say, with my chest out, they're not on my level. Their argument, I will cook, bake, and fry. When Jesse Jackson introduced African American, okay, Black society rejected African American, and guess what? 42 million didn't agree to African American. So I would say this. I would say when African American was introduced and to the grassroots, and when FBA, ADOS, was introduced to the grassroots, I can easily say more people embraced ADOS, FBA, more than African American. Okay, so he does that. He does that to draw a straw man or a statistical lie designed to minimize what we're doing, our impact. Everybody who's waking up and proudly accepting their foundational Black American descendant of slavery heritage. Now, the term FBA is a modern identifier. The lineage it describes accounts for the vast majority of the 43, 42 million Black people in America. Okay, so now, according to Pew Research, PEW, in 2019, roughly 80 to 90% of Black people in the U.S. are U.S. born, meaning the demographic FBA represents is the overwhelming majority. So to say only 1,500 people care about their specific lineage is a bad faith metric based on internet comments rather than demographic reality. So he's pretending like the average Black American wouldn't proudly stand on being foundational here. Okay. Okay, so I addressed this yesterday. I'll do it again. So I'm gonna spare some time. He argued the 3 stars on the flag. He's a disingenuous goofy because yesterday I pointed out that when he was debating Thunder articulated from Tariq's website the definition of FBA. Descendants of U.S. chattel slavery, the ancestors who went to U.S. chattel slavery. No simple. There's a period there. That's a definition. The definition was defined, and defined definitions are definitive. Can't add to it. So then what he did was he went down and scrolled to Tariq Nasheed's personal flag that he created, and then read the 3 stars and try to act like the 3 stars are tied to the definition of FBA. That's goofy work. That's clown work, and that's somebody who's an agent or retarded. Okay, because if you say disingenuous, I'm gonna add that to agents, because at this point you know better, and that's agent behavior, or it could be substance abuse behavior, right? Which go to retarded. Yeah. So the flag, Tariq Nasheed designed this flag, and that has nothing to do with the definition of FBA. That's something separate. And he explained it. He said this is his FBA flag, and he describes why these symbols are on it, what they mean to him. Okay. So Agent Agenda, he likes to work that straw man fallacy. Okay. So they like to focus entirely on, let's say, the Black Aboriginal indigenous theory, right? Which he know that they're going to argue it. They're going to argue it, and it become a long, drawn-out debate. Some folks who actually have that lineage, that indigenous lineage, will entertain them in debate for hours, and it doesn't go nowhere. Okay, because these guys are dealing with confirmation bias. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'd rather just focus on the exact definitions of FBA on the website. All right. Okay, so we don't have to accept the 3 stars explanation by Tariq Nasheed to be FBA. That's not a requirement, but that's agent agenda. That's Dr. Ruxpin position, which is disingenuous. That's what we call them agents. That's why they got those badges, those nice badges right there. I don't know who they're agent of, but that's agent behavior. Okay. So now I want to get to some audio. So let's get to some audio. Let's save this time. We got to go over what was already done yesterday. So now Dr. Ruxpin is sitting next to this guy and cheerleading him, enabling him. That's why we say, nah, y'all both agents.
To our neutral opponents.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's not that, well, maybe it is that complex because you have to have certain levels of pattern recognition. But again, everybody doesn't have to have the same skill, but what we need to have the ability to understand and differentiate our strengths from our weaknesses. Some people are better at certain things. You might be good at doing YouTube videos and maybe pseudoisms. If I'm looking for someone with some pseudo facts, I will come to you. Not you, But if you want some scientific facts, then you can speak to people more like us.
Yeah, who working? Yeah, if you just want to make up
like us, like okay. Yo, who you align yourself with, man? You gotta go down with them. Okay, so that's a little different than people coming in your panel and just telling their truth. So if a person come on my panel, want to talk their flat earth talk, by all means, go ahead. Viewer discretion advised, or disclaimer. The viewers and opinions of my panelists might reflect mine, might not. All right. But these two, you just heard them. They're in one accord.
something, man. You can make up something, man.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the article that you're not gonna get past right here. Let me share this.
So now he said we won't get past this article. Now he's gonna be a goofy. Listen to this.
I always want to bring some type of documentation to the party, man, because they just...
Yeah, but you can't understand it because you borderline literate. The documentation doesn't mean anything.
Making up stuff, man. And y'all can get this right here, man. All right. The genetic structure and history of Africans and African Americans, man. All right. Tiskoff, Sarah Tiskoff. She's the lead author. Do a lot of work on that. Look her up. Okay. This gives you the basic makeup of, the African American population, man.
Pan-goofy.
Okay. Simple as that. You don't got to run around, act crazy, act like it's not that. You don't got to do it. It's right here. Read that. Read this genetic history of it. Take your time. Get yourself some tea. Sit back. Read it. And I always teach people track. All right.
My man say always teach people. This pseudo teacher. What students do you have, my guy? Stop lying.
All right. Stay away from all the data points.
When I go back.
Oh, okay. Got us on here. Genetic African Americans, right?
All right. So now you just heard Ruxpin say something. He's trying to find where he wants, and Ruxpin told him where to go. So as I said before, this dude, Agent Agenda, does not read nothing. He gets people to assist him. He gets people to do the research and then explain it to him, so he can explain it back like he came up with the research. That's all he does. So he gets the credit. He's been doing this ever since the Amara Squad. You can have Asar Bujawa, all of them testify to this.
Read this. Read the abstract. That'll be all that. Read that. Stay out the middle. Away from all that. You're going to mess all this up. Okay? Get off of that. These charts. Tell you who you closely related. Okay, you're not gonna be able to understand the chart. All right, get out of that. Then read the conclusion of the dag. All right, conclusion of the paper at the end, man. And call yo. When we on the internet arguing, you know, like, come on, man. They drifting, bro. Yeah, like
He say drifting. He meant to say grifting. Okay. So family, let me tell you what he tried to do. So he mentioned Sarah Tishkoff's genetic study to say that we are genetically African, implying that because DNA connects some of us to Africa, that political delineation is pseudo. This is an idiot. Why? Because based off DNA, a white American may be 100% British. They might have they might have 100% British DNA, but he is not a British subject. He does not pay taxes to the crown and is not owed reparations by the UK. Okay. Similarly, right, when it comes to us, he trying to make a point that some of us have DNA from Africa. Okay. Our political status, economic condition, and culture were forged in America. So if you can find a strain of African ancestry, African DNA in some of us, doesn't matter. Our political status, economic condition, and culture were all forged in America. So Tishkoff's study confirms ancestry, but it does not erase the 300-year gap in history. FBA is a political status based on lineage and law, not a biological claim of being a different species. They act like we're saying we're new people in the country. Hey, we're new people. We're outside of the other Black Americans. That's the misrepresentation that they give us. That's the straw man. Okay. FBA is a political status based on lineage and law, not a biological claim of being a different species. So using DNA to erase 400 years of unique American history is a deflection. And they all do it. They all do it. Oh, but your DNA. Oh, okay. Do you call Brazilians African? Then it goes to this. Puerto Ricans that got African DNA, are they African now? See, they would never call Hispanic people Africans, even if they have the same amount of DNA or not a little bit more than us. They'll never call them Africans. If they did, it's still wrong. Okay, so that was garbage. Okay, so now let's go here. Some more goofy arguments. Listen to this one. This one's embarrassing. Is this Dr. Ruxpin with this embarrassing argument?
Like, for example, some of the haters, they come over here with their flags. Well, that's what people do when they go other places.
Yeah, they bring their stuff with them.
Yeah, like you're not walking around with your flag because you're still here, Negro.
No, we didn't leave, Coon. We didn't leave, Coon. If we left America to go live in Ghana, to go live in Puerto Rico, we're not going to be flying around an American flag. Okay, we're going to be flying around a Ghanaian flag or a Puerto Rican flag. It's disrespectful to flee your country that cannot clothe you, feed you, protect you, employ you. It's disrespectful to leave that failed homeland, come to our great homeland that we helped build, and then fly your failed flag over here. That is disrespectful. And some of them, check this out, family, it's even more disrespectful because some of these immigrants are here because of refugee status and asylum status. What is that? That is, you're literally running from your country who tried to harm you, kill you, jail you. They're trying to harm, that country's trying to harm you under that flag. You come over here to seek refuge, to seek asylum, and you fly the flag that try to bury your ass. That is super disrespectful. You should be flying an American flag, the country who took you in and saved you from your own country. 100% disrespectful.
And in fact, you also have to look at, so why don't they call themselves African or Afro-Jamaican or Afro-Caribbean, which is false. They do, but you also have to keep in mind that they—
No, that's not what we're saying, Ruxpin. We're saying that that's not on forms. They don't go by that. They say they're Jamaican, We're not saying what they see. Here's the problem, family. That's why we say we're the only people to call ourselves black as an ethno-political term, meaning that it's just black. It's nothing else. There's nothing else to call ourselves. If anything, we'll tag things onto it, like American. We're black, and we tag American on it. This is our country. And that's our citizenship, right? That's our citizenship. We're citizens. We tag American there. But if we go to, let's say, Brazil and become Brazilian, that becomes our nationality. We're black. We're the real black Brazilians. If we go to UK, Great Britain, and we seek their nationality, we get residence there, citizenship there, then we're the real black Brits. We're the real ones. So nothing replaces our black. Nothing comes before it. Nothing replaces it. Nothing comes before it. There's nothing else to call ourselves. So you can't be Jamaican and then say you're African or black. No, that's not our argument. So again, he's misrepresenting our argument. We're saying, why are they called Jamaican? Why aren't they called African as an ethnonym? Why is it Jamaican? We're not saying what you call yourself, the cosplay and sneak in and backdoor. No, we're not saying that.
The majority of the population there, like 99% almost. So when we look at these things, we look at
that's not our argument at all.
Differently. We can't compare. We have to compare.
Those people call themselves Jamaican, and nobody's saying Jamaican is an insufficient term for them, and they should instead call themselves African. That's what's happening to us. We're saying we're black, we're saying American, and they're saying we're not American. Americans ain't shit. It's a racist thing. It's not our country, and we're not black. You're afraid to say you're African. That's what they're saying to us. They're not saying, okay, you guys are black. That's cool, but you don't deny your African ancestry, do you? That's not what they're doing. They're saying we're not black, we're not American, we're African. That's what they're saying, and they're not saying that with other diaspora people. That's our argument. Ruxpin.
Compare things equally. We're still here and we're still the minority. So there's differences in how people show up. You have to be able to understand statistics, data, analysis. You have to be able to, and it's not even as complex as I just stated. Just understand basic descriptive statistics. If you know how to read a chart or a sentence, you will understand that you cannot compare us, and we're not going to behave the same when we're here and we're in fact, we're the majority black people here, and they're the minority black people that come in here. We are in our culture. They want to bring aspects of their culture, and you will do the same. In fact, African American people who have migrated to Africa and other places
they constantly say African American. You won't catch these goofies saying black or black American, but they're arguing, no, we don't, refrain from that. Yes, you do. Every chance they get, African American. Okay, it's intentional because they want to assert their Africanness. In fact, when FBAs go to Africa, migrate to Africa, they bring their United States flag. Well, for one, my guy, if we go there, it's for a different reason. We're not going over there for economic help. We're going over there because we are sufficient when it comes to money. So it's we're saying we're proud, we're bringing something to this country, we're helping this country level up. Look at me, I made it, Ma. I made it in America. Now I'm over here flexing. So that's why they wear those flags. I just said they come over here seeking refuge. They come over here seeking asylum. And they come over here seeking better opportunities. That's a big difference why some of us would go somewhere else and why they come here.
Done the same. And guess what else they do? That you're complaining about the Africans who come here and they go to their own little enclaves, where that's not completely true. But it's also true when African or African Americans go to places, including the continent, they do create their own enclaves as well. So what I'm saying is,
again, he's just messing it all up on purpose. Well, that's why we call you Agent Dr. Ruxpin. We got the Agent Ruckus over there.
You're comparing things, but not looking at it completely. And there's nothing wrong with some of these things.
And who is he talking to when he say we're comparing something and not looking at it completely? You see how he make us this big monolith, this one FBA nigga. Now, if we tie all these clowns into Dr. Umar and say you guys and think of Dr. Umar, they'll be like, oh no, no, I don't support that. Yes, you do, because when he was on the panel the other night, he was claiming like, no, Dr. Umar. Hey, bro, you guys still don't say nothing about Dr. Umar. And y'all only said something when y'all felt like he failed the school mission. And where it became abundantly true that he failed, he scammed. Now some of y'all whisper a little bit about Umar, but you guys before the school failure, and even now, you guys are afraid to call him out, say he's that's not Pan-Africanism. You guys are silent. You're different from us. We're loud. We ain't gonna let somebody represent FBA who's not representing it correctly. You let Dr. Umar go wild screaming he's Pan-African, he's Big Papa, he's the cousin of Frederick Douglass, he's the twin brother of A. Philip Randolph. Y'all let him do that without no backlash. Show me y'all videos when he started popping that. Y'all was out there like, nah, hell no, the way we call out tethers and white supremacists. Show me y'all videos calling that out. When he was claiming to be the king of Uganda. You dig? The last king of Scotland. Idi Amin. You guys were not calling that out.
Most people, like, for example, me and Unc, we're from Baltimore. We could be beefing here in Baltimore. But if I get to Atlanta and he sees something and be like, oh, he from Baltimore, like he heard the young man on the show. He gave the brother some love after he realized that he was from Baltimore. It was a whole nother type of, he gave him a little grace.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, huh?
Yeah, I forgot he came from patrol. I was like, yeah, he doing good.
Yeah, it's a natural connection.
Yeah,
that happens, just like they say in prison. Like in Baltimore, you go to jail. Before you went to jail, you were fighting. All the neighborhoods were fighting. But when you go inside and you got some DC brothers and all that going on, true. It's like your family side coming in. Then y'all go back to y'all stuff again.
To our neutral corners.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's not that. Well, maybe it is that complex because you have to have certain levels of pattern recognition. But again, everybody doesn't have to have the same skill. But what we need to have the ability to understand and differentiate our strengths from our weaknesses. Some people are better at certain things.
All right, so right now you're just babbling, just talking. So he argues that Caribbeans and Africans in America shouldn't be delineated against because, you know, we all look alike and that they go abroad. When we go abroad, we bring our flags too. Okay, so check it out, family. What I was saying was this ignores the power dynamic. When we FBA go to Africa or the Caribbean, we are tourists or expats. When African Caribbean immigrants come to the US, they are entering a system built on the back of our FBA labor and often benefit from affirmative action policies fought by us FBA through the Civil Rights Act of 1964, DEI programs and minority programs, all that they benefit from. We don't that ain't come on, man. That don't happen with us, right? So it's not hate to point out that a Nigerian immigrant who is the most educated immigrant group in the US, you guys heard me first say the term hyperselectivity. I got it from Tone Talks. That's why it's important to not exclude ADOS. Like y'all can have you can hate them as a person, but information wise, it's gonna tighten you up. Listen, that's why I'm better equipped to have these conversations than most people, because I listen to all of the people who represent us. I ain't picking and choosing. If Tariq got some stuff, or other folks at FBA got some stuff, I'm there. If Yvette got some stuff, Tone Talks got some stuff, I'm there. You dig? I'm there. Now, listen, and I got some, matter of fact, I got some events to play in a second. All right. So again, the Nigerian immigrant, who is the most educated immigrant group in the U.S., has a different sociological starting point than we, FBAs, living in a red line community. Lumping them together allows the government to ignore the specific repair owed to the FBA community, to our community. This is why we must delineate. We say, oh, no. If that immigrant is living his best life, great. But do not attach that to us saying FBA progress is going up, the percentage is going up. Okay, they're working. Look, they're highly educated. See? So systemic racism is falling apart. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna look at us explicitly and say, no, FBAs, we're still at the bottom. The immigrant group is afloat because you allow them to, but we're at the bottom, and you won't allow us to do anything. Okay. All right, so let's go right here. It's not a babble, man. It's not a babble. I'm trying to get to the babble. I'll go to the next video. So it's not a babble in this video. A lot of drunk babble.
All you have to do is take it down to someone who experienced trauma growing up. You realize they learned to survive. They will lie to you. They will steal from you. And that's all they know. Even when you take them out of that environment on an individual level, they will still hoard things. They will still lie. It will be difficult for them to see things in its fullness. I am saying on that micro level, you can look at FBA in general as having very similar traits. And those same similar traits look very similar to MAGA, because MAGA is also a group of people who have been disenfranchised. They might not be black, but they are disenfranchised white folk. There's levels to disenfranchisement. And skin color is not the only way that people oppress people. See, that takes new.
Right, so as you can see, as you heard, these disgusting goofies always try to compare us to MAGA white supremacy. But when he called in, and I pointed out a lot of these immigrants have these feelings towards us before they even get here, he tried to deny that. No, they get it when they're here. Bro, no, they don't. And if they did, they're in our country, my guy. How dare them? Again, you can't justify immigrants, foreign people that come in our country and disrespect us based on what? Dr. Ruxpin, what are they basing their hate on? Scientific racism talking points. Racist, alt-right talking points. You dig? What are you talking about? All their talking points about us that they say we're lazy, thugs, all of that comes from white racists. They don't say anything that they experienced from us that's unique, where they say, hey man, FBA, they got this going on because of an experience. First of all, they're not even around us. I already said those African immigrants, they don't come around us at all. First of all, they're taught not to come around us from their parents, and they don't. In our spaces, when you go bowling, you go to a basketball game, you go out to eat, you don't see Africans in there. You rarely ever see Africans. I'm talking about off the boat, sandals, stinky feet. You don't see them at all in society. They purposely avoid us. So this dude is just lying. Like, these guys are African ass kissers. African booty scratchers and African ass kissers.
Nuance. To understand that people are also social economically oppressed as well. That people are oppressed as it relates to their gender, their sexuality, and all these other things. But when you only see things in black and white, you can't see that nuance. So I'm gonna let you take it home, whatever it was that you just want to leave for the people. Just do you. take the time that you need.
So I asked a young guy today, yo, what do you mean about gatekeeping? And I didn't get a real clear answer. And I hear a lot of people saying that they just gatekeeping, they gatekeeping. Somebody got to hold the damn gate. If you're saying that I'm over here, okay, and I'm using 350,000 years of compiled knowledge that would bring us to science and science literacy, starting in Africa first, then to Asia, then to spread to the rest of the world. If you're saying I'm holding on to the foundation, right, that allows us just to do basic things like drink clean water. I'm saying, you know, get vaccinated against pathogens. We're surrounded by trillions of pathogens, billions and trillions of pathogens just trying to kill you. We're in a daggone arms race. And Africans in Africa develop how to fight against that arms race. If you're saying by me teaching people that I'm gatekeeping, nigga, I'm the #1 gatekeeper then. Call me numero uno, #1 gatekeeper. Call me that.
Hey, yo, what is this dude talking? Yo, this dude is right now. He's on Sunday TV for like 9 hours, like just talking about random stuff. Like this dude just seeks attention. He been on this scene, like Chief Karen said, he's been around on the scene constantly, on hella platforms, consistently and constantly, chasing YouTube fame, chasing a gazillion followers, a gazillion live viewers, and they like to pin that on us. You don't see me on everybody platform. You see this guy. I pop up here and there to defend the lineage, you know, my duty. It's my duty. I represent BAD, Black Anti-Defamation Defense. So here and there, I'll pop up on a platform to defend the lineage, but you don't see me looking like a minstrel. Like he looked like a minstrel on some of these platforms. He go on just yelling and cussing, showing off, and it doesn't, you know, but that's how he wants to look on the internet.
I'll take that. I like that. Somebody got to hold on to a perspective, okay, that would help promote healthy lifestyles amongst African Americans. Somebody got to hold the gate.
Told you, African Americans, family. When do they ever say Black people, Black Americans? And when they do, it's a slip up. You see, I heard them almost catch it. I heard them talk. They be like, "Yeah, amongst the Black Americans," you know, say Americans. They try to catch it.
Going to promote education, learning, reading, writing, STEM. Pick up the Dr. Oyama. Somebody got to promote that, bro. Somebody got to stand there and say, I'm not letting that pseudoscience get around my damn children.
All right, anyway. So, family, we are, he mentioned medicine to Africans, vaccine. We ain't gatekeeping that, fool. Goofy. We're gatekeeping reparations, my guy. I'm gatekeeping Black. The whole lineage ain't you know, that ain't their position. There's a few of us gatekeeping Black, but as a lineage, we're gatekeeping reparations. That's what we're doing. We're gatekeeping our unique ethnogenesis, our unique ethnic identity. Okay? We're gatekeeping that. So by attacking the identity of us, right? They are protecting the U.S. government from having to pay a specific debt to us. These guys are in the way because we're arguing loud and proud for reparations. And when the government hear these guys stand in the way, oh, you FBAs, oh, you xenophobic, oh, when they see, oh, these guys split, they don't have no support. You dig? They're like, nah, let's sit back and wait. A bunch of illegals came in here, so everybody be loud as hell. But yeah, they're like, let's sit back and wait this out. They ain't got the support they need right now. Okay. Listen, the bottom line is this: if everyone is African, then the specific crime of U.S. chattel slavery gets diluted into a general global struggle. That's what Pan-Africans want. And that ensures that no specific check is ever cut to the descendants of the enslaved in America. Okay, so true protection will be ensuring that we, the people who built the country, get the credit and the capital we are owed. Right? So let's get to Ruxpin. So the agenda is trash. Let's get to Ruxpin. So he did a segment by himself. He wanted to talk about ethnogenesis. All right, well, let's talk about ethnogenesis. Okay, so I got him right where I want him, right over here. Put the link in. Did I put the link in the chat? Hold on. There go the link.
To think about things. And I want to let you know that ethnogenesis is a social scientific construct. Yeah, it's a social scientific construct. And I think that lots of times we don't know how to make that shift. And what do I mean by a social scientific construct? I mean that it is one that is measuring social variables, not those that you can touch or put under a microscope or what have you. It's measuring our social reality. And there's been a lot of conversation around Pan-Africanists and Pan-Africanists not calling themselves Black, you know, and they're just saying we're African or we're African American and all types of misinformation. And family, I think what I said when I was on the on mute, I was asking you, how do I sound? I want to make sure my mic is not too loud. The last time I was on, I realized I was just coming through my camera, and I prefer to come through the microphone. If I sound okay, push 1. If I need to adjust something, push 2. But again, there's been a lot of conversation around this ethnogenesis, and people really don't know what it is. And I'm saying I've done the research, just some basic research, and I've come to realize where the term comes from, what it means. When I first started hearing people talk about this ethnogenesis, and the way they were explaining it in a way that it had something to do with our genetics, and that's just not what it is.
Okay, he's lying. He's lying. He's flat out lying. And again, if somebody said that, if somebody put it like that, that's an honest mistake. But what about the others who don't put it like that? Again, family, what they do is they pick and choose. They cherry pick. I'm sure some FBAs said it like that. I'm sure. But I'm also sure that Tariq Nasheed never said it like that. Okay? So, and he knows that Tariq Nasheed is the loudest mouth right now. And he ignored how Tariq Nasheed frames it and went with a random person on the online who made it say it like that. And now he's arguing that, not from the top. Okay, he's looking for the weakest link. Like, these guys are predators, man. They are predators. They look for the weakest link, the weakest argument, and they make that the standard or the exception. Or they make that exception the standard.
It is again a social construct, and people can do it. People can be.
So you don't hear us saying it's a social construct. You only thought it was genetic, or you only heard people say it was genetic. You never heard the argument It's a social construct. It's social. Yeah, that's exactly how Tariq Nasheed explains it. That's exactly how Yvette Carnell explains it. But again, the people who would know a lot about this, that introduced the term, he don't want to go with their how they described it and defined it. He want to go to the lowest person out there who probably misunderstood it and misstated it. But he's going to grab that and pin that as his talking point. Like, these guys are disingenuous. They're clowns. They're goofies, man.
Define themselves. In fact, we've done it before. So ethnogenesis.
If they keep it up, I'm gonna turn up in a second. I'm nice and calm, but you know what I mean? Yeah, I know me. I can turn up and get crazy. That's kind of where I'm headed.
Is nothing new. It is not new, and I would argue that this ethnogenesis that is called FBA is not needed in the way that they say it is.
Explain.
I mean, if you want to do it, that's fine. I have no problem with it.
Well, you do. You're Pan-African. You have a dog in the fight, my guy. You have a dog in the fight. You're Pan-African. You do care. You do care. Because you know that as this is catching fire, it's ending Pan-Africanism. Right? People are detaching. I mean, it's a nothing burger anyway. Look at y'all spaces. Look at y'all lives, and forget about you. Outside of Umar, so because I'm gonna be honest, he's kind of new on the scene. He's not new, but he's new. He's like me. He was on YouTube. He took a break. He got back. He's like me. He came back on, and when I started going hard about a year ago, now he's going hard right now. So he's kind of like me, where he took breaks, did a little bit, took off. He's not like Dr. Maya and the other crazies. That's why a guy like him is good to get him now, where he's all in but not all in as far as hours. He's all in as far as theory and theology, but he's not all in as far as hours like Dr. Maya, Agent Agenda, and a Reverend R, which is retarded ready. Like, he's not in to that degree. So he might be reachable, but he appeals to personality. So a lot of these guys fear the backlash of 10 people, which is stupid because it's like millions of us. So you're rather millions of us, you could take that backlash, but 10 Pan-Africans, you can't withstand that backlash. So this guy's know better. Like, he knows better. But this is when we side-eye these PhDs, these lettered folks. Why it seems like when a Black American get these letters, why are they just beholden to white supremacy? Like, they disconnect from the grassroots. My God, your events, your Pan-African events, it's a bunch of tethers there, or a few tethers there, that have everything to gain. What are we gaining from that? At the very least, they get to gain citizenship, they get to gain affirmative action, they get to gain protection from us, political protection, physical protection when we protest and march. What is our gain linking up with tethers in this country? Come on, it's no gain. They're too small in numbers. There's 43 million of us, and we're barely moving a needle. How is 3 million, 4 million tethers helping us out? Stop. Now, if they were in here like the Hispanic community, 60 million deep, now that's 100 million. Yeah, that moves the needle more. But 2 million, 3 million tethers, that don't do nothing for us, man. There's no gain for us.
Holistically, I just don't think that it is needed. There's a lot of mismatch of information and all types of things. So again, I'm going to go back to this idea that Pan-Africanists where did you come up with that fangled idea? Where did you come up with that? I mean, like, talk to me, family. Like, thank you for the one. Where did you come up?
Hold. Before we explain that, he just another straw man. Okay, So he attempts to argue that FBA is unnecessary ideological as an ideological project rather than a legitimate ethnic group. Okay, and that's where his argument fails based on logic and history. Let me talk about it. So he spends, as you see, a significant amount of time arguing that ethnogenesis is a social scientific construct that none of us disagree with and not a genetic or biological one. Okay, so he implies that FBA proponents, we, are claiming to be a different species or genetically distinct race. Like these are idiots. That's not our position, man. We're rebranding the same lineage that been here since U.S. chattel slavery, my guy. So, straw man fallacy. I should have made a thumbnail with these two. I should have made a thumbnail with these two as scarecrows, right? Another straw man, because they just build straw man for us. No credible FBA person argues that FBA is a separate species or that we don't share some African ancestry. Okay, he is debating a ghost. Okay, our claim, FBA claim, is lineage based, and I gotta keep saying, when I say our, of course the family know who I'm talking to, but this is in case somebody who's unfamiliar with the topic and they just love reactions, debates, controversy, they come here. So I'm making it clear for those people potentially to ever watch this video. So you'll hear me say our FBA. Okay. So where was I? Okay. FBA, Foundation Black Americans. That is a lineage-based claim, not a biogenetic one, my guy. Okay, so by constantly shouting, it's not genetic, DNA, they're debating a ghost. Our FBA claim is based on lineage, who your ancestors were in law. Partis Sequitur Ventrum. Just as American descendants of the Mayflower is a specific lineage group without being a separate biological race. We, FBA, is a specific lineage group defined by the history of U.S. chattel slavery. Okay, so then later on, he goes to cite Dr. Amos Wilson to defend the term African American, claiming that moving away from it is social amnesia. He argues that African American was a revolutionary self-naming process in the late 80s. This dude is nuts, and he's a revisionist. Okay, he's appealing to authority. Dr. Amos Wilson, a lot of them do that. Dr. Benz, who's not a doctor, John Henry Clark, and Diop. All these guys, Diop. Their name is Diop. Anybody with the name Op, anybody who got Op in their name, I can't rock with. Okay, so African American, when it was introduced by Jesse Jackson, 1988, 89, 90, was a new term introduced by Jesse Jackson. 1988. Nobody disagrees with that. Before that, before African American family, you gotta listen to me, man. Write this stuff down. I mean, literally write it down. Because you guys be dropping the ball when you go to speak. You have on my panel, they come on, you make me look like a fool because y'all will argue weak shit I will never say. Never argue. So y'all make me look weak when they come on a panel and you guys join the panel and y'all argue. It's like, hey man, like let me argue the argument. Like I'm the real debater, you guys are not. And then you got somebody like him come on the panel, like relax, like let me get him. I'm the real debater who pretty much I'm bona fide. Like, I'm a real debater. I'm respected in all these circles. Okay, I've been debating hella topics. I mean, I got the most experience. So I got it. So before 1988, before Jesse Jackson introducing the term African American, the collective endonym was Black. The community in the 80s did have an issue with it because it was viewed as softening the political demand for justice by focus on a distant cultural past, Africa, rather than the immediate political present America. So FBA is actually a return to the specificity of the group that fought the civil rights movement, Black Reconstruction, Black Wall Street, Black Panthers. Free blacks. Okay? We're correcting the blurring that happened with African Americans, was allowed by Jesse Jackson and then allowed to be attached to recent immigrants to subsume the identity of the native black population. Okay, so then he repeatedly states that 48 million black people will never identify as FBA, and the FBA is just a subgroup. He said that on my panel, or internet cult. Now he didn't say that part because the masses haven't adopted the specific name yet. Now, had he said that on the live, well, I can't say what I could have done because my panelists were just on one. They were just talking over, being chaotic, you know, just going crazy. So I probably couldn't even done anything if he said that. That's why I normally just allow the ops to click the link, the family lineage, just listen. All right. And this is why he was loving to speak to you. You didn't notice that? You didn't notice that he said, no, let me speak to so-and-so. You didn't notice that Dex came on, that weirdo Dex came on? Fam, you didn't hear Dex? This question is for other panelists, not FBA Ron. Family, they don't want to talk to me. They think you guys are the weaker link. Like, you guys see you're being played, so listen, just relax, humble yourself. Let me go in, and then you could say, unbiased Ron, let me add to that. But to lead the debate when I'm on the panel is like ridiculous. But I didn't want to show infighting. I let them guys go, and you see what happened. They felt really comfortable. He even made a follow-up video, which I in the title. You dig? Not me. So the subgroup or internet cult, because the masses haven't adopted yet. Okay, so family, that's an ad populum fallacy. Hasty generalization. I can't even goddamn say it. Generalization. Okay, hasty generalization. He is confusing the label with the lineage. Okay, first of all, the link is there by myself. They don't click the link. The link is there with a bunch out on the panel. They click the link. Y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see when it's just me. They don't click the link. But when y'all on the panel, they click the link. Y'all haven't caught on to that? Y'all haven't caught on that they think they got a better chance with you guys than me? Y'all haven't caught on to that? You think that's just a coincidence? I mean, you're just that much in your ego that you think you're that bad. But again, like there's no receipts of none of y'all being that bad. Family, I had 300 debates in 1 year. Recorded, by the way, recorded debates in 1 year. 300. Okay, in 1 year. Yes, one calendar year, 300. And that's just in 1 year. I got like 500 debates like on the internet, recorded. Like I said, like these people know who I am. They don't know who you guys are. They just meet you. You heard Dr. Ruxpin. Hey, I've been listening to you about Ron for a long time. He was on Unc's channel, Pseudo Killers. He said that. Tiffany, when she came on here, she said that. She said she'd been watching me with the Pseudo Killers. So, so they know how I give it up. I got receipts out there. You guys are brand new, untested, and they're gonna go to you. So you gotta humble yourself. And that's why the link, that's why sometimes I just don't invite you guys on. I'm like, okay, it's gonna get wacky. And you see, it started to get crazy. Without calling names, that live went crazy. They went left real fast. I just went on mute. Anyway, ad populum fallacy, hasty generalization. He's confusing the label with the lineage. First of all, there's roughly around 43 million Black people in the U.S. If you add the immigrants, 47 million, 48 million under Black, which I hate to do. The reality, okay, according to Pew Research, PEW Research, approximately 90% of the Black are U.S.-born descendants of U.S. slavery, okay? Even if grandma in Mississippi calls herself colored or Black instead of FBA, She fits the definition of FBA. Dr. Ruxpin, Agent Agenda. Listen, even if Grandma Mississippi calls herself colored, Negro, Nuwapian, Muslim, don't matter, doesn't matter. She fits the definition of FBA. That's why Thunder, yeah, I gotta let, hey, Thunder, man, if you can hear this, man, you gotta pull up, bro. You gotta pull up. Even though I cooked you on something else, don't worry about that. I don't, one thing about me, family, is that I don't keep strings, right? If I cook you, I let it go. If you cook me, I let it go. I don't hold on to like grudges. So Thunder, you out there, bro. Even though I cooked you on something else, call in, man. Hit that link. Okay. So it don't matter what I keep saying to you, family. It don't matter what we want to call ourselves. I mean, of course it matters, but I'm saying in a lower vibe thing, in the lower vibes, it doesn't matter what we call ourselves, because the question just remains: are you a descendant of U.S. chattel slavery? Call yourself Ninja Turtles, call yourself Planet Risk, Stardust people. I don't give a goddamn. Do you African booty scratchers? Are you a descendant of people who went through U.S. chattel slavery? That's either yes or no. And once it's no, goodbye. We're gonna play kickball, kick your ass over the fence. Okay. So the political interest of our movement, delineation movement, covers the vast majority of our people, Black American people. So whether we use the acronym or not, FBA, doesn't matter. FBA and delineation covers you. Reparations covers you. We got you. So he is trying to say our lineage doesn't exist just because the marketing term is new. But again, he won't click that link because he knows African American was new. So it's like, so does that apply there too? So they be playing around with people, man. And everybody, I'm very witty. I'll give a damn what y'all say. I'm very witty, and a lot of y'all don't have comebacks like that. So when they say FBA is new, well, so was African American in 1989. What's up? So okay, so let's throw away FBA and African American, and let's stick with Black, because Black was around before both, and we still win. Because when you say Black people as just us in this country, and we're citizens of America, we built the country, we're foundational, so nothing changes. All right. What else? Okay, so we're done right there. So then later on, so sometime in the I ain't got time to play the whole video, but he tried, my laptop is on his last leg. Okay, but the link is there. I won't smoke tonight. I do want smoke. Make sure you like the video. And I'll be on later tonight as I do my walk, my long, cold walk to get my coffee. So I'm live right now for maybe another 30 minutes to an hour. And then the likes are there. Thank you. They want to trap us in an endless conversation because they don't build. Exactly. That's why they want to argue the 3 stars on the flag and other things. Man, listen. Hey, Donnie, listen, man. Listen, Donnie. The way my mind works, I'm a problem solver. When I sit back and look at the debates, something I'm not even a part of, because I just like watching debates, and I will see where they're circular at, where they keep going around in circles. And I will try to understand what argument can be made outside of that circle to end the debate. And that's why I did the hip hop thing. Okay, you guys want to argue. They're stuck on who invented what element. I'm saying that's cool, but let's get one thing established. And the thing that's established is that regardless of who invented what element, the MCing element, the rap element, blossomed far more than all of them combined. Not even close. And guess who they give credit to? The MCing element, us. So even though I understand, even though the early people want to hold on to breakdance and graffiti and DJing, I'm saying let that go for right now. Let's argue the irrefutable argument, the one that doesn't go around in circles, the one that Debo said, the one that doesn't go to an endless conversation. Oh, nah, see this fly right here, Puerto Rican. No. Look, forget about that. You guys can have him sing for right now. No, I'm sorry. Not emceeing, because everybody unanimously agree that FBA is the emceeing. So right now, you guys can have DJing, graffiti, and breakdancing, but let's admit that emceeing rap is hip hop, and none of those combined is hip hop. Nobody thinks of hip hop and think of breakdancing, graffiti, or emceeing. They think of emceeing. They don't think of breakdancing, graffiti, and DJing. Okay, so that's what I do, Donnie. Fresh always. I sit there and think about, okay, where are we stuck at? Because wherever we stuck at, I don't want to be stuck there no more. You think I don't want to be a roach in a glue trap. I want to get away from that, and I want to argue where we're not stuck at. Okay, that's what I do. I sit back and say, where are we stuck at? All right, I don't want that no more. I don't want to be stuck. I see where it's going to go nowhere. Like when you talk about Chief Karen and Agent Agenda, they're arguing Black Egypt and they're stuck. Now they're lucky I don't care enough to get into that, because I could get in that and decide the winner easily, and I will be the winner, because I'll just find out who's winning or the winner's side, and I would take that person's argument and articulate it better and be more witty with the comeback. So y'all understand that, man. Like, I'm somebody who reads all day long. You guys don't. You got to admit that you don't. You don't put the hours I put in every day. Like, my life is a total sacrifice to information. All day yesterday, all day today, I've been looking into the history of immigration in this country. And I touched on some Black history, right? That's why I told you guys about the color high school thing, the color convention. And I said, even though organizations back in the 1800s were called African, they were not African centered. They were just African by name. They were Black American centered. They dealt with Black American problems and troubles and solutions only, nothing about Africa. Okay, so I stepped back because I wanted to kill that noise. Oh, look, this says African, so this must be about Pan-Africanism. No, the hell it ain't. Show me where there was Pan-Africanism because they called it African. So anyway, so later on, Dr. Ruxpin, he tried to delegitimize the entire lineage by focusing on the 3 stars. Like, I'm gonna get past that. I'm good, because we know that that's a red herring, cherry picking. He is hyper focusing on Tariq Nasheed's personal historical theory to distract from the core political mandate, reparations and lineage protection. They do that. So Teddy Ruxpin, stop, bro. Stop. That's why he came over here. He was very talkative. He wasn't humble like me. He's on my panel, and I'm the humble guy. I stay humble. He's going off with the mouth, right? I don't do that when I'm doing panels. But I let that happen. That's like a weakness, softness in me. Like even when Reverend Retarded Reggie came over here the first time, I was very nice. I was humble. I let him go. When Rod's son came over here, I let him go. I know I shouldn't do that, but the softness in me let him do that. And then once they do that, I don't like it. And then I harden up. When they come for the second, third time, it be demon time. Okay, so the definition of FBA is lineage based. If your ancestors were enslaved in the United States, you're FBA. Okay, and you don't need 3 stars. Okay, you don't need 3 stars. If your ancestors were enslaved in the United States, you're FBA. And we don't need to agree to the 3 stars. That's it. Right? Then he claims FBA is at best a sub-ethnogenesis or a subgroup. You hear him keep saying that language because it hasn't distinguished itself enough from African American. This guy's weird. He argues FBA is distinct enough. Okay, this is the problem. He's arguing circular logic. He argues FBA isn't distinct enough because he refuses to acknowledge the distinction lineage versus race. That's his problem. And I was trying to get him on that. But the panelists, I had 3, stepped in out of his ego. I don't know what's going on. They're drunk, sleepy. But I was trying to get them to know African American is a dual, has a dual usage. And before I could even get it out, my panelists started to chime in. It's like, yo, what are we doing, man? And this is why I normally don't allow them on my panel. Yo, that's it. When everybody want to join, that's why I just let everybody join. I said at that point, anybody join, because y'all already killed the damn live. Y'all already killed the live. Once you're on the live, we're talking, great. The family's here, great. But once a guest call in, relax, take a back seat. Let me get them. I will allow. At some point, I'm gonna say, yo, so and so. What's your thoughts? At some point, I will allow that. But once y'all start yelling over me, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, y'all saved the dude, really, which is weird. Okay, so he refuses to acknowledge the distinction between lineage and race. All right, so the distinction is stark and measurable, right? Watch this. Wealth. Native Black Americans, right? We have a median wealth of roughly $1,700 to $3,000, depending on the study. Nigerians have a median wealth closer to $60,000 goddamn dollars. What's the difference? One group lived through Jim Crow, the other didn't. Which one you think lived through Jim Crow? The group that got a median wealth of $17,000 to $3,000, or a median wealth of $60,000. You see what happens when you go through Jim Crow, when you're the targets of Jim Crow? $1,700, $3,000, when you're not, $60,000. Okay? One group have ancestors in the 1870 census, the other does not. This is not a subgroup, Dr. Ruxpin. This is the primary group. Okay? The African American label is the artificial construct that lumps 2 different ethnic groups, Native Black Americans, us, and African immigrants, Afro immigrants together. FBA, we are simply undoing that artificial lumping, and you're mad. So his strategy was to pathologize the movement. He calls it a mental disorder, his therapy bullshit, or a social amnesia. He attacks who he calls the leader, who's not the leader of nobody. Tariq Nasheed, he attacks the leader rather than the data. He attacks, I'll say it again, he attacks Tariq Nasheed rather than the data. They all do it. Chief Karen, Chief Indian, ex-Karen, and Agent Agenda, they all do it. He pretends our lineage is about biology, DNA, to avoid talking about political lineage reparations. Okay, now listen, his arguments are failing because the U.S. government via OMB, who I talk about a lot, OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, Directive 15, has already admitted that Black is too broad and disaggregation is necessary. The OMB already admitted Black is too broad and disaggregation is necessary. The government is moving toward our FBA position, data specificity, while Ruxpin, is stuck defending the 1980s Pan-African umbrella. All right. So what else? So now here's the gotchas. Okay, genealogy versus genetics gotcha. Okay, so Tether Dream called in and presses Ruxpin on why FBA, we call it a lineage if they claim it's not genetic. The caller argues you can't have a family tree genealogy without DNA genetics, whatever. Ruxpin's response, he attempts to separate the two, claiming that we, FBA, downplay genetics because of trauma or cognitive dissonance, e.g. distrusting science like Tuskegee. He's making broad, crazy statements. And he got a doctorate, supposedly. And he got strawmans like that. Okay, somebody got to report that guy. Okay, here's the flaw. The straw man and the psychologism. Okay, he misrepresents our FBA position to make it sound anti-science. That's what Agent Agenda just did. Okay, listen, man. Genealogy is legal. FBA is based on paper trail, census records, slave schedules, birth certificates. This is the standard for reparations in every other context, e.g., Jewish Holocaust survivors. Don't take DNA tests, fool. They show documentation. Genetics is broad. DNA tests like Ancestry.com give broad estimates, e.g., 30% Nigerian, 10% this, 5% that. This doesn't prove where your ancestors were enslaved, like Jamaica versus Mississippi. We, FBAs, we emphasize genealogy because documents prove damages. Who owned your ancestor? What labor they did unpaid, okay? So DNA only proves origin. Dr. Ruxpin treats the preference for documents over broad DNA estimates as trauma rather than legal position. So he shits on us by focus on our genealogy. This was my mom, grandma, over DNA. Okay. So he lets Tether Dream rant. Okay. Tether Dream argues that Jamaicans see themselves as a nationality first, not a lineage, and he believes in the American dream of immigrants coming for an opportunity. Okay, first of all, that's a false equivalence. Tether Dream conflates the immigrant choice to come to America with the forced captive experience of us, FBAs. Okay, an immigrant arrives seeking the American dream. Our ancestors were the fuel for that dream, not the beneficiaries, my guy. You're benefiting from our dream. You're benefiting from the dream that we made possible, but we're excluded from it. He admitted Jamaicans view themselves as a nation. This proves our point, FBAs. Jamaicans have a flag, a government, and a distinct national identity. We, FBAs, are simply asserting our own distinct national identity, ethnogenesis, forged in the U.S., okay? So why is it okay for Jamaicans to be a distinct nation, but divisive when we decide to be that? And we don't want African in our goddamn label. Okay, so here comes the gaslighting, okay? So, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so Michelle called in. She shared her experience of Pan-Africanists correcting her for saying black people instead of Africans. So Michelle said that when she say black people, these dusty, musty, filthy booty scratchers will tell her African, not black. Okay, now, Dr. Ruxpin, he minimizes her experience, saying that is not the general consensus, that's not the general consensus, and claims that Pan-Africanists generally accept black, okay? Whatever. He dismisses real-world examples of friction, Pan-Africanists erasing black American identity as anecdotal, which he do with us, family. Once we point out cases that don't be disrespectful, he'll act like that's anecdotal, but he'll point out cases about us being disrespectful and act like that's not anecdotal that represents the lineage. Okay, anyway. The bottom line is this, family. Pan-Africans require us to flatten our unique history to a general African one. When we resist this flattening, we say, no. We're going to focus on our specific U.S. reparations. They are often attacked, okay? And he knows that. But his dismissal of this friction prevents the healing he claims to want. He dismissed it when I was talking to him. Oh, yeah. Or he minimized it. Oh, yeah, I know that's going on. Immigrants. But then he justified it. Immigrants come over here. They watch movies. Man, shut up. He repeatedly labels us, FBA, as an ideological identity project rather than a legitimate ethnic group, okay? He believes that because the name is new and political, that we're somehow fake or pseudo. The fact is, all ethnic identities are ideological projects at some point. Italian was an ideological project to unify warring city-states. African American was an ideological project by Jesse Jackson to unify the diaspora in his mind, which you know is bullshit. FBA is an ideological project to secure reparations and to delineate. So calling it ideological doesn't make it invalid. It makes it strategic, my boy. Dr. Ruxpin argues that FBA is unnecessary. Okay, then. Okay. 1 second. I gotta do a commercial. Give me a second. Give me a second to do a commercial. Give me a few seconds. Be right back.
If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. And we can all ride when it's time to override these policies. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with us. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with us. You gotta show me trust. You wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies.
I'm back. Okay, so family. He argues that FBA is unnecessary, right? Okay, cool. Whatever. Which they do. Most of them do. Move out the way. What is this? Okay. However, the stats prove otherwise. Okay, the wealth gap within the black community. Los Angeles in 2014, a study called "The Color of Wealth in Los Angeles" found that U.S.-born black households had a median wealth of $4,000, while African immigrants households had $60,000. Family, write this stuff down. Write the stuff down. In Los Angeles, a study called "The Color of Wealth in Los Angeles" found that U.S.-born black households had a median wealth of $4,000, while African immigrants households had $60,000. So now they'll look at these tethers and say, "Look, you got $60,000 a year. Ours is $4,000." Okay. Miami, that's Los Angeles. Miami in 2014 ain't too much further than that. Los Angeles was 4,000. Well, Miami is 3,700. Okay, while black households had we had 3,700, but Caribbean immigrants had 12 grand. Boston, 2015. The famous Federal Reserve study showed U.S. black at $8, and U.S. black us as $8, family. What about the education gap? That was the wealth gap. What about the education gap? At elite universities, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, roughly 41% of so-called Black students are immigrants or children of immigrants, despite being only 10% of the U.S. real Black population. So, if you don't want to acknowledge that, Ruxpin, that's personal. But we know that you guys suck African ass. If you don't delineate, which means separate the data, in this case, the success of wealthy immigrants, it hides the crisis of us, the descendants of slavery. All right, so Dr. Ruxpin's refusal to acknowledge this data is the biggest flaw in his argument. So we call them pangoofies. So Dr. Ruxpin is operating from a 1960s, 1970s, that's what we call them outdated, the outaged, and they're usually 40 or older. Dr. Ruxpin is operating from the 1960s, 1970s Pan-African framework that views so-called Black unity as the highest goal. He views specificity, FBA, as a threat to that unity. They all do. His error, he confuses unity with uniformity. We FBAs can be unified with diaspora culturally, but they must be distinct politically to get, but we must be distinct politically to get reparations, not them. So his tactic, Dr. Ruxpin's tactic, is to use social construct jargon to overcomplicate a simple legal reality. Lineage equals documentation equals damages. That's who damaged. Okay. So where data disaggregation is becoming federal policy, his argument that we don't need a new name is outdated, my guy. You're outdated, you're outaged. The data shows we absolutely need a new category to track the specific economic stagnation of the foundational group is us. Okay, that's a grand opening, grand closing. You dig? Grand opening, grand closing. Matter of fact, let me throw a little song in there. You dig? Let me throw a little song in there. How about this song? They are not like us at all.
They not like us. They not like us. They don't like lookalikes. They not like us. They don't like us. They not like us. They not like lookalikes. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They don't like lookalikes. They not like us. They don't like us. They don't like us. They don't like lookalikes. They don't like us. We the original, number one, uno. We're not alike, you know. Y'all are like we made in the image, our likeness. Our image is righteous, our lineage is priceless. You can't buy or sell it. They tried to fail it, they tried to sell it, they tried. They not like us, they not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they don't like us, they don't like us, they don't like lookalikes, they don't like us. They don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they don't like us, They don't like us, they don't like us, they don't like us. We the original, number one on the road. We're not out of light, you know. Y'all are all liars, like we're made in the image and likeness. Our image is righteous, our lineage is priceless. You can't buy or sell it. Can't buy or sell it, it's right.
Sweat and tears and all that, you know, fought in every war, okay? So this is my country here. So I don't want to be called African American. I'm an American American. My people have died and done everything for this country. If you accept the handle of African American, that says that you don't accept being an American American. You don't accept being born in Chicago or New York or Detroit or wherever you were born. For generations your family's been here, you know? Built this country too.
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that, okay? I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation.
I'm always gonna be known as a Black American. I can't call myself an African American because
I am not an African American. I'm an American. I am a Black American. I am definitely Black, and yes. So
Africans don't even fuck with us.
Wow.
Because they don't. We're not from the motherland. We're from we're from America. So I'd rather say I'm a Black American. So I consider myself a Black American. I don't consider myself African American and shout that because Africans don't even fuck with us.
Wow.
Because they don't.
I don't mind the term African American. I don't want to be called African American. What's up? I'm not African.
I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm Black, I'm proud of it, I'm Black and beautiful.
Is Barack Obama Black?
No, he's not. In the American political context, Black means the son of West African, the descendant of West African slaves brought here to labor in the United States. It's not a put down. It's not to say that he hasn't suffered. It's not to say that he doesn't have a glorious lineage of his own. It's just to say that he and I, who am descended from West African slaves brought to America, we are not the same.
Obama will announce his candidacy this weekend at the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois, where Abraham Lincoln made his stirring House Divided speech. How historic. At a building made famous by the man who freed the slaves, Obama isn't the descendant of slaves.
So, you know how African Americans would say, oh, Black writer, Black creator, Black artist, Black lawyer, Black doctor, Black woman in STEM? No, when we come to this country, it's immigrant or nationality, maybe our careers next, and then whatever else comes after that. So immigrant, Jamaican, marketer, whatever else comes after that. The issue that you're having is we don't see ourselves as one of you.
Let me say that again. I am not Black, okay? Hear me out. Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as Black. She's like, you're not Black, you're Nigerian, you're African. I feel like the term someone is Black obviously comes from the slave era, but it also just describes displaced people that don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know their heritage, to try and curb racism in some way, people are going to be racist. Ignorance is ignorance. You can't. But just to curb racism in a small way, stop referring to yourself as Black. You know, if you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household. You know, Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians. Like, if you know where you're from, as Black, you know, if you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household. You know, Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians. Like, if you know where you're from, why refer to yourself as a color? I feel like when we say Black, it just sounds so harsh and like, this is Black. I'm brown. You know, I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. Like, that's who I am.
The African Day Parade, you don't see the Africans. You got the festival that be going on in Brooklyn. The band festival, the African festivals. Where's the Africans at? When we doing our rallies and our marches, where's the Africans at on your side? Talk to us really about that, man.
See, let me tell you something. We think slavery in America was something. Slavery in Africa is still in force. You talking about deaf, blind, and dumb. Don't confuse because somebody got on some printed cloth that's printed in Holland or India that you're looking at an African cultural expression. That's not an African cultural expression. That cloth was printed in a European country and then sold to Africans. And they've accepted that as their cloth. You understand what I'm saying? Just that piece. Now, they do speak the language, but they know less about their history than you and I do. So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite, eat on and play down, because these people are so punked out and scared of the white man that they feel because they're scared of the white man, they got to be against us. You know?
Explaining what Foundation of Black American is and tell them I'm both. Is explaining what Foundation of Black American is and tell them I'm both.
Our people, brother, or are we our own people now?
No, we got to understand two things. We have a race and then we have an ethnic place. Ethnically, we African Americans. Just like a guy from Africa, he can say he's African, but there's no country called African. He's either Nigerian, Ghanaian, Malian, or something. That's his ethnic nation.
There's no country called African. He's either Nigerian, Ghanaian, Malian, or something. That's his ethnic nation.
Racially, we are together, but
economically, we may well be enemies.
Well, but any race can produce albinos, all right?
Can produce what?
Albinos.
No.
Right, you got
No. Show me a white albino. You can't. Albinoism comes from a void of melanin. Only from black people. Only from us.
Only from black people?
Yeah. Show me a Chinese
It said, okay, I looked up, I said, can every race produce albinos? And it says, yes, people from every racial or ethnic background can have albinism. Albinism is a genetic condition, not a race.
There you go.
I mean, but if it's not a race.
No, albino, bro, only black people doing that. Show me a white albino. They're going to say his hair and eyes, but he's still white. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not for real. Look up white albino.
It's a lack of melanin pigment, resulting in very pale skin, all that shit. But I literally typed in. I'm just showing you. I'm just saying what I typed in. I typed in, show me a white albino, and that's what it showed me. And, I seen a lot of albinos like low key look the same to me. They all look the same to me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Black people?
You said what?
Because it's a genetic. It's how I say this. It's like genetic differentials that assist in that. But you ain't never seen because I ain't never seen it. You ain't never seen the true white albino. The motherfuckers just look white. It's like a motherfucking white person.
I said, okay, I looked up. I said, can every race produce albinos? And it says, yes, people from every racial or ethnic background can have albinism. Albinism is a genetic condition, not a race.
There you go. No, albino, bro, only black people doing that. Show me a white albino.
Well, but any race can produce albinos, right?
Can produce what?
Albinos.
No.
Right,
No. Show me a white albino. You can't. Albinoism comes from a void of melanin. Only from black people. Only from us.
Only from black people?
Yeah.
What's going on with you, brother? All this clout chasing you doing, putting FBA in the title. Your last 15 videos have FBA in the titles. What's going on with you, brother? You're jealous of unbiased sports. And here you is clout chasing FBA Ron, unbiased sports, whatever you want to label this channel, is getting more views than you, and you've been around for fucking 50 years. And you're jealous about it. So you put an FBA in your title every 15 videos to clout chase. Stop. Let it go. You will never be a conscious community celebrity.
Damn, that had to hurt. You'll never be a conscious celebrity. That gotta hurt, family. That gotta hurt. Seriously. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for something in particular. But listen to Revenue crazy self. Listen to this. Revenue, Ibram Charade, producing electric cars. Brother,
but you said Africa. You said Africa and Pan-Africanism. So you asked me what has Pan-Africanism
yes, but you gotta.
did influence.
I need you to do this. Give me one country out of the million that's in that Pan-African bullshit. Give me one country that produced something like Mitsubishi, equivalent to Mitsubishi today. Give us one thing, one company that's equivalent to Mitsubishi. Go ahead.
Okay. Burkina Faso just started producing their own cars in Africa. They just started producing their own electric cars.
Who's buying that bullshit? But like, where's this car?
You changing the goalpost. You asked me to name what African leaders producing something on the continent under Pan-African. I just named a car manufacturer company.
Okay,
so how much? Like what you want, a diamond mine, a gold mine, or something?
Look, I'm not trying to be boggled down and argue about that. You made some bullshit up. Okay. Brother, so as a result, are they a first world country or still a third world country? As a result of this car shit,
they just kicked France out of Africa. They just kicked France out of Sahel country.
That did not answer my question. Are they, as a result, kicking France out in this new car bullshit? First of all, what country is this, by the way? That got
Burkina Faso.
Okay, hold on. Let me look this shit up because you be lying. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second. I know you. That boy will lie if you don't fact check him. Hold on.
Okay, it's called Either Way.
Wait, hold on.
ITAOUA.
Wait. I'm not ready. Wait. Computer.
All right.
Damn, man. Put the drugs down. Wait. I can tell that's my phone. I made a mistake and I clicked off one of my search engines. So let me get that back. That's what I'm saying. Wait, let me get my search engine back. I clicked it off by mistake. I'm mad as hell. Let me find what I did with it.
I'm ready. What he said?
No way.
What time? What? How? Oh my God! What early? How early? How early? How early did we?
I hate to start a new search engine. Oh, okay, I got it. All right. Damn. Okay, I got it. Okay, here we are. All right. Spell it.
ITAOUA.
ITAOUN. And this is the country.
No, ITAOUA.
ITAOUN, right?
OUA.
Right, back to the
Wait, OUA?
Yeah. ITAOUA.
Right. Oh, so there's no N. There's no N.
Nah, no N.
And this is the country.
Yeah. Burkina Faso.
And who's the president?
Ibrahim Traoré.
Okay, got it. What is okay? What is it known for, and what have they produced? What is their GDP? What?
Wait, did you look up the car brand?
Huh?
Did you look up the car manufacturer? Huh?
I don't need to, because I'm asking AI, what do they produce? AI is going to tell me. So if they produce the car, AI will make it. Right, so hold on. So what I don't do as a good researcher, I don't lead the research. I just ask what do they produce, and I let the research be honest and tell me. I don't lead the research. I don't lead it. So what is their GDP and what?
Daddy, Daddy, give me. Give me.
So what is their GDP? Oh, hold on. What is their GDP? What is their unemployment? What is their unemployment rate?
What? See, it went from what did the country name one thing the country
Hey,
do?
bro,
I named your car manufacturer.
Brother,
Now you asking about unemployment rate.
Kwame. When you research on AI, you get a limited of searches, my boy. So what I'm clever is I just get it all in one time. If I was
all right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a smart man. That's why, my boy. So I'd rather get it all in now because I probably won't have too many chances to do something else. I'll be stuck on this. So now I'm smart to just get it. I might even ask about dinosaurs. I get it all in this one here search. Okay, so relax, be secure. And what is their unemployment rate? And how strong is their army? Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Damn, boy, insecure. All right, let me press. Okay, family. So the laptop died. I'm about to switch to my phone. Let me see. Let me play something to entertain you until I put a switch over. It is. I gotta switch over. I gotta entertain y'all while I switch over.
Yo, it's right there. You see that?
So I'm gonna switch over, family. Just allow me to switch over. Yeah.
I knew the photo the second I did this. You know, his life friend is yeah.
Commercial break. Commercial break. You dig?
Right? American history. So the necessary check. Nation of Islam made
agenda decides to go into Tariq's Nasheed website and try to misrepresent it. All right, so I'm gonna get to that right away. Give me a second, you dig? So we snowed in, but I think it might be. I think tomorrow things will get back to normal. All right. But it's supposed to snow again Sunday or something like that. Something ridiculous. So I'm gonna get something ridiculous. All right. Anyway, everybody liked the video. Unc is known for strawman arguments. And you just got to know when somebody's giving you a straw man. You got to make sure whatever they're saying on behalf of you ain't, you got to make sure it's what you represent. All right. Is what you represent. If not, you got to point that out. So, let me say Timo Cyrus is worse than I'm a raw squad. Well, if this is Kansu from Timo Cyrus, I'm gonna play a little later. If that's him, then I got some questions for him. All right. So let me get right into this. I ain't gonna bore you with that right now. I got off what I need to get off. what I wanted to get off was Dr. Ruxpin. Very disingenuous. Detroit 2832. Let us know. Are you a supporter of the lineage? Are you of the lineage? Are you a Pan-African? Let us know what's going on with you. And family, man. Big, like, we have irrefutable, unbeatable arguments. What they try to do is go to what they believe is the weakest or the most controversial arguments. And some of y'all inexperienced debaters will fall for that. Okay? And you'll be arguing to their advantage, right? Which is in circles. No, you bring all of them to delineation, and you let me step in from there. Okay? Somebody who's well versed. I don't need Google, ChatGPT off the top. So I'm gonna go live from my phone in a second. And once I go live from my phone, family, I don't really go to Google because I'm chilling. First of all, it's cold as crap. So my phone be in my pocket. You dig? My hands be in my pocket while I'm taking my little walk. You dig what I'm saying? So you want somebody to argue delineation that don't need to go to Google, ChatGPT off the top of the head, and can rebuttal, can respond, can ask questions that they can't answer. You dig? So you want all conversations concerning FBA, ADOS, descendants of freedmen to go to delineation, and then you invite me. You dig? Because a lot of these cowards won't come to my channel, and a lot of them don't want to invite me to theirs. So what I'm saying is, you guys start the conversation and invite me on the back end. You dig? And I'll crush them. Just make sure you record it somehow and send me that recording. Let me crush them. Let me come on the back end. You dig? Like, hey man, what's going on? You dig? I give them a fake name, whatever. But this unfortunately is what I gotta do. A lot of them want to dodge me. And as you can see, they want to speak to everybody but me. Right? They don't want to speak to somebody who's well versed. They want to speak to somebody who's scrambled brain. You dig? Who's freestyling. You don't know where to go. You know what I mean? And I'm seasoned. I'm 17 years seasoned. Probably 18 years now. When we came, I'm 18 years seasoned in debating on. Okay, so I don't get rattled. I don't get shaken. I don't freeze. You dig? I just become more witty. Yeah, so you guys start the conversation on TikTok or Twitter or you could do a three-way. If you know a clown that's standing on at Pan-African business, hey man, call me. You know what I mean? Let me know. I'll let you call me on three-way. You dig? I'll beat him up on three-way because I truly represent BAD, BADD, Black Anti-Defamation Defense. I'm a defender of defamation towards the lineage. So I do this for fun. You know how goons say I kill for fun or whatever. Well, I love to debunk Pan-Africans, tethered white supremacists for fun. That's all. That's all. But I'm gonna go live later. I do my little walk. So family, I appreciate y'all. Make sure you like the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm gonna do my walk and go in a little more. You dig on said topic. I love you guys. You guys definitely come through when it's time to come through. You guys come through when I come through. So you guys come through when I come through. I respect that. I love that. And I take it from there. Anybody can get it. That's my motto. PhDs can get it. What's the other one? God damn, I got brain freeze. I got goddamn brain freeze. The PhDs can get it. Tethers can get it. You dig? We say the poo shiesty, man. I'm trying to fucking with y'all. You dig? We on demon time. Yeah, we on demon time. We on demon time. You dig? We on demon time. Yeah, so Tethers can get it. Pan-Africans can get it. White supremacists can get it. Anybody can get it. I'm the can man. Anybody can get it. But I prefer Tethers and I prefer Pan-Africans right now. More so than anybody. You see what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do, man. You know how we do. North Face gang, you dig? North Face gang, you dig? And I'm representing a local designer, you dig? BCS Cash Series, big Cash Series. Instagram, check them out. Shit fire. Dope quality. You dig? I'm not rocking nothing without dope quality. This is his sweatpants too. So I represent local designers in my community, you dig? That's why I'm respected in my community, you dig? I represent. You sell it, and it's good quality. I represent bullshit. Big Cash Series, BCS. You dig? Look them up on IG. Tell them Ron sent you, you dig? Unbiased Ron. That's how we doing it. Shit. You dig? North Face connection. I got the North Face connection. I got the Big Cash Series hoodie, Big Cash Series sweats. We on demon time, man. We ain't playing, man. We definitely ain't playing. Got the headsets, you know what I mean? It's like 0 below out here. It is. So it is what it is. Now look at me. You trying to say I'm African? Like stop. Stop. FBA to the, I represent FBA to the fullest. FBA is an admixture of African ancestry, a Native American admixture, and European admixture. I represent that to the fullest. So when you call me African, yeah, you did. You talking the right one. Like in what sense am I African? I'm FBA every sense. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? I'm FBA in every sense. Goddamn African. That's why I say, like, yo, be careful you call African without seeing their 23andMe. Hell wrong with you, man? You lost your goddamn mind, and then when they realize, oh yeah, unbiased Ron ain't African. Yeah, bow down. Ice Cube said, bow down to something greater than yourself, Trick. Bow down to something greater than yourself, Trick. That's Ice Cube. Yeah, I represent FBA to the fullest. I'm a loud voice in this space. I'm a debater. I'm a researcher. I'm a YouTube journalist. You dig? Yeah, y'all mad as hell. Yeah, listen. These conscious, these HOK people, they are mad as hell that I'm representing the lineage. I'm 10 toes down. They wish I was on their side. Because they know who I am and they know what they face when they come my way. They're like, damn, Ron got some information, man. What is it? They'll try to pick his brain. Let's see if we can debunk it. Let's see if we can gather 10, 4, 20,000 people. Ross Son. Ross Son is a clown. Okay, he's a Caribbean tether who I met in real life, by the way. He was low key, sneak dissing, and then flat out just dissed me on somebody's channel. I gave him the link. He pulled up. He act like I ain't know Black history, and he was 10 toes on that to his own demise. He asked me gotcha questions, answered them to his satisfaction. Then it was my turn to ask him questions. He couldn't answer. And I realized, I said, dude, you only research 1700s, 1800s, maybe 16, 15, 14, but you don't research nothing 1900s. I realized that because he knew nothing of what I was saying in the 1900s. I'm like, okay, you one of them dude, that's not me. I'm not cornered. I do I do 1600, 17, 18, 19, 2000. You dig? That's where we at with the research. But you see me, man, on Demon Time tonight. Darren might call in. This might be a cutoff live. You call in. I might scream on you. I might cut you off. Normally I'm respectful, but tonight, this evening is Demon Time. I might not give you a fair shot. Ain't gonna lie. The streets want a body. The streets want a body, and I want to help provide it. So call in. This is your chance. I'm going live later as I do my walk. And as a matter of fact, let me see the temperature before I decide that walk. Hold on. If that thing is like 1 degree, I can't guarantee the walk. Hold on. Who the hell called me? Let me see. What's the weather? Man, it's 15 degrees, but it feels like what? See, the 50, don't fall for the 15 degrees. My phone is too cracked to see what it feels like. Hold on. It said it felt like 5 degrees. No wonder my hands were freezing. I'm like, oh, why the hell is it so damn cold? But it's 15 degrees, but the wind chill, it feels like 5 degrees. And I promised my son a cookie if he did his homework without any problems. He did that. So I gotta go up here to grab this damn cookie. I can't go home without a cookie. So I'm about to freeze my damn FBA off, trying to get this cookie for my son. Trying to fulfill my promise. Yeah, but just know these clowns dodge when I'm by myself without people chiming in, talking over me. I'm by myself, and when they got to focus on me and my wittiness and my rebuttals and my arguments, they're not gonna take that long. You'll see retards like Tether Dream and Dex and BSIA, and you'll see revenue clicks. They retarded, so they'll click it. Anybody with a reputation, I'm here for myself, they ain't clicking that link. They want a panel so they can like pick and choose who they want to talk to, and the panelists fall for every time. No. They're supposed to say no. Address somebody's wrong. That's what they're supposed to say. Everybody trying to make a name for themselves, and it don't work out well because he took that clip. He thought he did so good. He took that clip and he reposted it on his channel for a live. But yo, you done made the guy feel so comfortable and confident that he reposted the conversation like he won because you guys make him feel like that. When I cook on guys, they don't repost the content. They be embarrassed that it happened. You dig? Anyway, let me get ready to my later live. I take my walk. Fam.